Hey, catch this rhythm. You feel that? That's called playerism. I'm on the scene, a player clean, poker face, 4 queens. I got 4 of a kind on everything. Dig this, living elite. I don't feel complete without kicking at my feet in a Rolls Royce every week. Maybe this is deep. Listen close when I speak. I need to at least, cause I'm too much. I'll be a fool if I love him. You'll be a fool if you trust him. Here with my niggas, we keeping it gangsta. Yeah, I'm a slayer, I'm just keeping it player. I'm fucking her now, we're man eating it later. That's maybe why he is a hater. I'm wearing all black like I'm being a raider. You talk to police, we call you a traitor. I'm running the city, they call me for favors. I'm running the city, they call me the mayor. Lyrical Whitney, my street presidential. She give me the canary diamonds as I'm flying Canary Islands on a one-way. Fresh Easter Sunday, yes, I touched the runway. I'm blessed, she looks like she just left the runway. She wanna stay with me in this Disney fantasy and never go home like a runaway.
I'll be up before the daylight, that's why I'm getting paid, right? I'll be all in. I work hard and play hard until I hit the graveyard. I'll be all in.
I am going to be who I truly am because I am remarkable. And I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Peace to the Saints. Today we are back early in the morning. The stock market is just open, so we're up after it. And this is important because what you get to see in this is the consistency of one who is focused and what it takes to be successful on a daily basis with no days off. You see, it's about 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. No matter what time I go to bed, I'm still waking up at least an hour to 2 hours before the sun comes up, no matter what. So we never compromise on that. Let's go ahead and get to this work. First, per our culture, let us acknowledge and show love to those who show love to us. Now, first acknowledge Trevor supporting the work, as well as Major Mind and Soul. Trevor writes, peace to the Saints. Major Mind and Soul writes, I appreciate the consistency of these lives, Quet. Less work. Sir, yes, sir. And via Cash App, shout out to Justino. He writes, peace to the Saints. PDT can't stop me. I hear you, brethren. Shout out to Ivan the Saint, comes in by Cash App as well. Now, let's look at some stock. And I decided on the particular charts I want to use. I'll use Yahoo Finance moving forward. I think they have a decent setup. Obviously, I use my brokerage when I'm trading. As I mentioned yesterday, I think it's reasonable that I kind of remind you of some trades that we've made during these sessions so you can see how they're tracking. For example, during one of these sessions, we purchased some Albertsons, and I mentioned previously I got a dividend from that. That stock is in the green, just up a small percentage. I also purchased Digital Turbine recently. That stock is up 3%. So I've earned about $20 on that one. And then I also purchased some Lyft during one of these sessions. That stock is up 5%. I've earned about $20 on that one. And I wouldn't be surprised if that one continued climbing today because it's went up so sharply, which is a good thing. What other buys have I done during this? During this session, I was sent Forge Global via Cash App by Keandre, and Forge Global looks like it's completely even based on when he sent it to me. It hasn't moved up or down, which is extraordinary. It is completely even. Now, today's biggest daily movers. We might have some opportunity here. I see Credo Technology Group. They're down 42%. That's significant. It fits my thesis. It's something I'm very interested in. Stocks that are moving 30% up or down within the current macroeconomic environment. So this is something I'm really excited to research right now with you. Shout out to Subadai. He writes, peace to the Saints, up 20% on TSLA since it dropped to 107. There you go. Now, here we are. This Credo Technology Group only has data for the last 3 years from 2020. Their revenues have went from 53 million to 58 million to 106 million. which is quite impressive, to nearly double from 21 to 22. And then their profit has went from zero to 27, negative 27 million to negative 22 million, which is a good trend. I like that. The analysts are saying buy. Again, the analysts are imbeciles. It doesn't matter. I just share that because people are sometimes interested. Now, what precisely does Credo Technology Group do, and why has there been such a major slump in the share price? Credo Technology Group delivers high-speed solutions to break bandwidth barriers on every wired connection in the data infrastructure market. I like that. They're technology focused, they're increasing speed, and generally this is a core thing in the technology industry, particularly with regards to internet. So that's a good industry of tomorrow. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to look into the news. So 51 minutes ago, there's a news article from Market Watch. Let's see what it says. Credo Technology Group, 42%. It plummeted toward a 4-month low, putting them on track to suffer a record one-day sell-off after closing at a record high. Interesting. Okay. After the network company disclosed that its largest customer cut demand for Credo products. Okay, so they lost a major source of revenue. The previous record one-day drop in the stock is when it went public. Of course, you expect that these things are often not priced accurately because you're kind of guessing, and people are also trying to make maximum profit. The company said in an 8K filing with the Securities and Exchanges Commissions late Tuesday that it understands the reasons for its largest customer cutting purchases, and they're unrelated to Credo's performance. According to the company's annual report, the largest customer accounted for 30% of total revenue. That is very significant. As a result, of the customer's decision, as well as macroeconomic headwinds, you see, I mentioned this a lot. And when I say macroeconomic circumstances or the macroeconomic environment, I'm essentially referring to the environment that Joe Biden's administration has created. And every political administration is impacting the macroeconomic environment. He says the company now expects revenues for the fourth quarter to be 30 to 32 million, which is well below the consensus of 58 million. And when we're talking about consensus, we're essentially saying what the analysts have established as what's going to happen. Okay. The company also expects revenue for the fiscal year ending in 2024 to be flat with revenue for, okay, cool. The stock has soared 26% over the past 3 months through Tuesday when it closed at a record $19.36 per share. And this all happened while the S&P 500 was down about a point. Okay. Now, cool. So we have some information, and it's essentially telling us that there's nothing necessarily wrong with this corporation except that it lost one of its major customers. If the corporation is indeed honest and accurate about it losing its customer, not due to issues at this company, but rather perhaps issues at the other company, that could mean that this business is undervalued. And certainly when you see this drop happen so quickly, what we're probably observing is a psychological reaction. People are running scared, which is how human beings are. They're scary animals. So right now, let's go ahead and get into, do we want to buy? Do we want to sell? Do we want to leave it alone? Well, right now, my instinct is I think I'd like to make a buy. I want to read one more news article because you don't want a single point of failure in the system. So I'm going to read one more news article about this technology company. But as of now, 43% drop. I like the financial numbers that they have. Even though they're not profitable, it's still a very young company. Revenue is going in the right direction. Even their profits, which are still in the negative, are also going in the right direction. I'm very interested to buy some of this company. I'm just looking at one more article, and my hope is that while we're reading this next article, it drops a couple more points. You dig? So I'm going to type this into a Google search real quick, and their stock ticker symbol is CRDO. CRDO. Let me go ahead and share this tab with you. Here we go. Boom. So CRDO, Credo Technology Group Holding. And as we can see here, they've lost 42%. Now we want to see some news. So we're just clicking news, and it is saying that it's down. Duh, we know that. But the question is why? So let's click this one. Hopefully, this is not written by AI. It's written by a human being. Let's take a look. Just do a quick scroll through. Seems like it was a cut and paste from the last article. This probably was written by AI. Let's see. It will retain its market share with the customer. The Credo technology warns that its largest company has reduced demand. As a result, yep, this is basically the exact same article that I just read, which means that it was not written by a human being. It was generated by AI. And one thing I want you all to understand and remember, I said it first, you're going to experience a tremendous decline in quality of life as we have the dumbing down of human beings and the replacement of human beings with insufficient technology. Okay. So let's see. Credo closed at this and blah, blah, blah. Stock fell 61%. Credo gets an average short-term technical. Okay. So this is all garbage right here. And what you're finding is that there's essentially no meaningful news except that one note that Credo has lost its biggest customer. So in as much as that's the case, businesses will lose customers, businesses will gain customers. Certainly when you lose a customer accounting for 30% of revenue, that is very significant. However, this seems like a well-managed corporation from the face of it. And I am going to go ahead and make a buy. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just stating on what I'm about to do as we speak. So if you'd give me a moment, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple purchases. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to buy some on Cash App just so it's easy to manage. And then I'm going to go into my, my real trading platform and make a buy there. Actually going to set what's called a limit order, which will basically execute when the price reaches a specific point that I identify. So for example, right now, the share price is at $10.97. I think it might drop a little bit more. So I'm going to set a buy order for when it gets down to $9. So the stock ticker symbol is CRDO. That's Credo Technology. I'm setting a buy order. I'm setting it for not a market order, but a limit order. And that price will be at 9 USD. And I'm going to set this for good until canceled. And then I'm going to set my cancellation date for February 17th. Now I'm picking the quantity that I'm going to buy. Perfect. Reviewing my order now, which you should always pay close attention to anything you're doing regarding money. The current share price is at $10. I'm setting a buy order at $9, good until canceled on February 17. And this one is basically hoping that the price will go down just a little bit more and then ideally shoot back up, which I trust that it will shoot back up, but who knows if it'll take a further dip before it shoots back up. It just might, and that's what I'm placing my order based on. Perfect. Order is made. And now we can get back to this. Shout out to St. Flo's, Sense Intuition. I see he has the assassin Letterman jacket. Okay, let's get back to shout out to, okay, no, that's my purchase. All right, great. Now let's go ahead and get back to these daily movers here. So we just went through one. We made a purchase, which is cool. That's fairly quick. You see, that's one of the quicker purchases we made. Everything just it met all of my criteria, and I was very much so ready to pull the trigger on that one. Right. So, what's your thought process on limit orders versus market orders? Do you always place limit? No, I don't always place limit orders. For example, if I think that the price is, if I'm highly confident that the price is going to move in a particular direction in the short term and then do something else in the long term, I'll use the limit option to basically capture a better opportunity. The market option, just for those who might be novice, when you place a market order to say buy a stock, and let's just give you a specific case study here. Say we're looking at Roblox, right? So Roblox, for example, is up 25%, and the share price is $44, right? So say you want to buy some Roblox, which I don't, it's too high. But the price is $44.82. But you're convinced that it's going to drop down even farther. You're convinced it's going to drop down to $40, but it's not at $40 right now. Maybe it'll drop down to $40 in a couple hours or in maybe 30 minutes, but you won't be around at your console to press the buy button. And so instead, you create the limit order to buy Roblox at $40 whenever the price gets down to $40. Now, understand that the price never may get down to $40, which is to say your limit buy order may never execute. But if you're confident that the price will drop down, you're going to want to buy it at the lower price. So you set the limit order. However, if you're saying, hey, this is a good buy right now, I'm not entirely confident that the price is going to fluctuate down any farther than it already is, then you go ahead and execute the market order. Or, for example, if the market is about to close, I like to get all my deals in during proper trading hours, not in after hours, because the market's really moving during the trading hours. So I like to have everything done by then. So sometimes if it's like, late in the trading day, I might just execute the market order. But when I'm being conservative and thoughtful, I'm generally using limit orders, and it's going to give you a greater advantage. So, and as you watch these sessions on a regular basis, you'll get a strong sense of when and why one uses a market order. Shout out to Kevin. He writes, tuition, we'll catch the replay on Patreon. Absolutely. Shout out to the real one supporting the meaningful work. People say, hey, let me tell you guys a funny story. Here's a funny story. Everyone says they want to get to the bag. Everyone says they want to make money. But how few people are on this session? If I started talking about how to sleep with a woman, this session would be flooded, right? If I start talking about gossip and beef, the session would be flooded. You have so many liars. People are lying to themselves. Remember, all these people want to get rich on cryptocurrency. Why on cryptocurrency? Because they think it's easy. You don't have to read balance sheets. You don't have to read news. You don't have to read company history. You're just making a gamble. So notice that about humankind and know that you are a part of a rare breed. Now, let's go ahead and look at Roblox. So Roblox, first, what is it, right? Roblox operates an online video game platform. Okay, so I don't play video games at all. So this is something that is very foreign to me, but I know that this is going to be a growing sector, right? It's a very thriving sector and it'll be growing. So they operate an online video game platform that lets young gamers create, develop, and monetize games for other players. Now, certainly, we know that people are trying to make money in general, and increasingly, this generation and the generations to come, being aimless, will want to make money doing things that they enjoy, right? So this is good. The firm effectively offers its developers a hybrid of a game engine publishing platform, online hosting, blah, 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 blah. Okay, helps you make games for other people that they can make money off of potentially. Great. I think that's a good business concept. Looking at their numbers since 2018, the last couple years, we see that, whoa, very nice. Revenue has trended upward, 300 million to 500 to 900 to 1 billion. So that's done beautifully. And then looking at looking at profit, profit was negative 80 million, 88 million, then negative 70 million, then negative 200 million, and then negative 400 million. Not the kind of trend you want to see, but not a terrible thing. And I particularly like this industry. They're up 24%. Let's find out why and consider if we could possibly take a short position against them. Even though I do like the company, I think it could be a good buy if it was at a good price. Right now, we're seeing a spike in the price, obviously. So we're going to take a look at this one. Shout out to Donovan. He writes in the chat. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. I don't see your question in the chat, Donovan. I'll give you a little bit of time to pop it in there. Anyways, so Market Watch has an article on Roblox. U.S. stocks open lower after strong retail sales data. U.S. stock indexes open lower Wednesday as investors digest strong retail sales data in the wake of inflation. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Where is the information about Roblox? Looks like I'm probably going to have to pull up a specific article. The article that was suggested to me is actually not very detailed. It's a very general article. Roblox went up 24%, surging in pre-market trading Wednesday after the gaming company topped bookings expectations for the holiday quarter, which is to say it outperformed what was expected. That's quite funny. The company posted a loss of 290 million, whereas it posted of 290 million in the fourth quarter, loss of 144 million in the year earlier, blah, 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 blah. This is irrelevant to you guys. Roblox's revenues rose. We already know that. The company's bookings, which better reflect sales of virtual currency, came in at blah, 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 while analysts were, okay, so it made more sales than expected. Understood. Okay, there's no insight provided in this article. And mind you, because a lot of the analysts, which I'm not even sure these analysts are human beings anymore, but essentially a lot of this information is aggregated, right? Because these are financial numbers. And at some level, people can understand a company through their numbers in predictable ways. We can understand companies, which is to say that profit is good, revenue is good, negative profit is bad. Negative revenue doesn't exist, but low revenue does. And we can calculate, using algorithms and predictive models if a company is good or bad on paper. And because it doesn't require any creativity to make that determination based on numbers, numerical values, you can run algorithms and then have those numbers populate very neatly into articles using artificial intelligence. But remember, the intelligence is artificial and it has no creativity. It doesn't consider the news. It doesn't consider macroeconomics very effectively. It doesn't consider changes in regulation. It doesn't consider psychological swings, which is really what the stock market has always been about. So it only gives you half of the story. And so when I'm looking through the news, I'm not as much looking for the numbers. I'm looking to see the psychological reaction of the masses. So essentially, the only reason that we're seeing this stock price shoot up like this is because they performed a bit better than expectation, which is good for them. That's happy to hear that about their business. Do I think that this price is going to stay up? Well, now I'm going to consult the charts to see what the charts look like, to see how much they might be overvalued. One thing that saddens me is I might have missed a couple points here because if I take a short position, I would have wanted to take it at its peak, which was it was up 26% this morning, just 10 minutes ago, and now it's already down 2 points. So I need to hurry up and talk faster. Okay, so let's take a look at their chart. In the last day, they're up 24%. In the last week, they're up 15%. It's not very much. In the last month, they're up 17%. This is good trending in considering a short position. In the last year, they're down 17%. And I'm looking at the way this trend is going. Let's see. So, I mean, look at that, right? That's quite a swirly line. It shows significant volatility, and volatility is good for making money, which is to say, if you take a short position or if you take a buy on the stock, in both cases, it's possible to make money. So I see that there may be some opportunity here. And being that they shot up, essentially 25%, I think I'm willing to take a bet against these guys. I might not be able to necessarily close this position today, which I like to close my positions the same day. But I think there's something here. So I'm going to take a short position against this stock. And it's primarily because, I think it's inflated. Yeah, there's no meaningful news that I saw about these guys. Let me just see. I'm going to give it one more shot because I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything before I execute this short position. And please remember that when you're executing a short position, you are essentially taking on more risk than you would with other maneuvers in the stock market. So Roblox, then we go to not images, but news. And it says dazzles Wall Street's with bookings beat. Okay. Former, what the heck? Creatures of, okay. Lines up at series adaptation. Let's see what this is. Okay, so that's cool. When was this? This was February 14th. So this could have contributed to the existing upshoot. Popular game spans exotic worlds. Okay. Let me just see how many times Roblox is mentioned here. There's one, there's two, that's irrelevant. Based on the Roblox platform, that's scripted series. For anyone who is hating just cause is a Roblox game doesn't mean it's childish. Okay. We haven't found ideas if we've really run out of ideas if we're adapting Roblox games. Got you. Okay. Roblox stock up 24% based on the earnings report. And all this, the news is pretty much the same. It's either about the video game being turned into a TV show or it's about Roblox outperforming expectations. So I don't find anything particularly strong in terms of seeing this much of an upshoot in their revenue. So I'm about to go ahead and open up a short position against Roblox. I'm essentially betting that they're not going to be able to maintain their current stock price. And so just give me a second to make this trade real quick. And their stock ticker symbol is, let's see, what is their stock ticker symbol? RBLX. So I'm going into a proper trading platform. And and mind you, for those who are only on Cash Apps, Cash App, you can't take a short position on Cash App. So I found the proper stock I'm looking for. It's currently priced at $44.53. And I'm going to take a short position. So I'm going to sell short. And I'm actually going to use a limit order. As I said, the price was at $44.53. And I'm going to take the short position at, let me see. I want to check to see how high it's been today. It's gotten all the way up to $45.15. Might not get back up that high, but it might. And so I'm just going to take this short position at $45. Now it might not get back that high, get that high again, which would not allow my order to execute. But I try to be conservative when I can since I buy so much stock. So I'm setting a limit order for the price of $45 per share. And I'm going to now set the quantity of shares that I would like to purchase. And this one is for the day only, which means that if it doesn't execute during this trading day, the order will be abandoned. And I'm now clicking review order. I'm confirming that I'm selling short a certain number of Roblox at a limit price of $45 for today only. And I'm going to now place my order. My order has been made. Okay, now let's check, see what Donovan has said. Donovan said, support for this segment, appreciate it. Also, what do you think about Petco for long-term potential? Well, without looking into their data right now, I'll briefly say that Pets are well associated with mental health issues and low IQ. And in the future, we will see more mental health issues and more low IQ. So pets will be continue to be a growing industry. And obviously, all of the supporting products that a Petco would provide would be potentially very good. So I want to say that I'm long on the pet industry, and Petco being the leader is probably going to do reasonably well, assuming they don't have any major issues in management. So for the long term, I think Petco is going to do pretty well. Is Petco going to be one of those stocks that's going to make a huge jump forward at any point? No, it's going to be steady growth. So it's good long term stuff. This is the kind of stuff you can retire with. This is the kind of stuff that's going to give you consistent returns. It's not a technology stock, so it's not a kind of company that's gonna like just boom, it's never gonna do that. It's an old company, it's a long-standing company, so it's not going to do any of those things. This industry has a lot of potential, so I'd be looking at innovative new players in the pet industry. Thank you for that question. And thank you to those supporting this work. Shout out to Keandre, comes in with the support. Appreciate it. All right, now let's get back to looking at the biggest daily movers. Okay, so we have Nerd Wallet has went up 25%. Ooh, sharp 25%. Okay. And I'm just looking at the graph right now. So in the last 24 hours, they've went up 25%. In the last week, they've went up 26%. And you got to look at this graph, guys. I mean, look at the graph. That's how they've gone up. That looks like a short sell opportunity if I ever saw one, a sell short opportunity. In the last month, they went up 72%. Oh, I got to short these guys. The last year, they're up 31%. Yeah. For all time, they're down 37, but that's fine. This is something you expect. So for the last year, they're up 32%. Oh yeah, these guys are about to get shorted. I almost don't even want to read the information or look at anything else. I just want to short these guys. Shout out to Reese Time 7. Yeah, these guys are about to get shorted in a real way. Nerd Wallet, a free tool to find the best credit card, CD rate savings, checking accounts, scholarships, healthcare, and airlines. They do a bit much. Doesn't seem like they're terribly focused. I'd love to see them hyper focused in that credit industry, credit ratings and things like that. But it's cool. These are related products. I get that. Um, what else? Let's just look at some. And the funny thing is, the analysts are imbeciles. The analysts have given this a buy rating. That's why I say the analysts are fools. You don't buy when it's 25% up. You don't buy when the hockey stick looks like that over the last day, week, month, year. You don't buy at that time. The analysts, I don't even think they're analysts anymore. I think it's just an algorithm running, a dumb algorithm. Anyways, looking at their numbers for the last 3 years are reasonably impressive in as much as the revenue has gone up in the last 3 years. The profit was positive in 19, positive in 20. Then it went very negative in 2021. So they had 24 million in profit in 2019, 5 million in 2020, and then negative 42 million out of nowhere in 2021. So that's kind of weird. But the neat thing about it for me is that if all of a sudden their revenue, or excuse me, their profit tanked, so like the last year we got on the books for these guys is negative profit, and we just saw their share price shoot up so quickly for no discernible reason, then I think we have a really good opportunity to make a short on these guys. So let's look at some news, because we got to see the news. I mean, what's this all about? So we're going to type in Nerd Wallet. Boom, Nerd Wallet. We're going to news. Oh, it's already on news. Nerd Wallet is on a mission to provide. Yeah, I don't care what they're on a mission for. Nerd Wallet earnings and revenue surpass. Okay, so they basically have beat consensus estimates. All right, Nerd Wallet earnings beat by, okay, great. Billions spent on tax returns that could be filed for free. About 101 million eligible filers missed out on using a free file program. A Nerd Wallet. Okay. Nerd Wallet. All right. So yeah, they beat their what was predicted. Cool. Now it's time to short these fools in a serious way. I'm about to take an aggressive short. Out of all the shorts that I've taken on these sessions, I've not been really aggressive. I haven't put too much capital behind any of these, but this is going to be one of my more aggressive shorts. I think that they're very much so overvalued. So, not to say that people are not going to start using credit cards more in this current macroeconomic environment, but I think that they're wildly their price is very inflated right now for no good reason. So let's see. Going into my trading platform right now, and see. So Nerd Wallet's gotten all the way up to $18 per share. That's where they peaked, and that was about 4 minutes ago. So 4 minutes ago, they had peaked and they were up 26% at $18 a share. And I think that's cool. I'm willing to go ahead and put in a a short order. I'll short them at $18.20. So their stock ticker symbol is NRDS, NRDS, and I'm going to set a limit price for $18.20. This is a trade that's good for today only. I'm selling short. I'm now selecting the number of shares that I would like. Okay, sell short this number of shares, limit price of $18.20. I'm now going to review this order. We have Nerd Wallet, this number of shares. The borrowing rate is 0%, which is great. The daily fee is $0. So I can leave this position open for quite some time, which is really good. So I think I'm actually going to be more aggressive, being that there's like less risk because I'm not taking as big of a hit on the fees from my brokerage. They're basically giving me these shares for free, which is quite considerate of them. So, in as much as that's the case, I'm going to modify my limit price just a touch higher. I'm also going to increase the number of units that I'm essentially borrowing from the brokerage to short. So, this is great. So, I have Nerd Wallet. Oh, it says that they're hard to borrow. That's weird. Wow. That's so strange. Anyways, okay. So these I actually misread this. These are hard to borrow. Hurts my heart, but I'm still about to short these characters. Okay. So I'm looking to short these guys for a significant number of shares at $18.30. Let me just see where they're at right now. Oh, it's already tanking. They're at $17.54. We'll see if it comes back up. Probably won't. It's already tanking. I'm already being proven right just a bit too quickly. So I've now set my order in motion. So one thing you guys will notice is that I go shopping for stock every day. Some days I don't buy much, and sometimes I don't buy any. But for example, yesterday, I don't recall. Maybe I bought one stock, maybe two stocks. Today, I've already shorted two stocks and bought one stock. So I'm pretty active today. I like how the market is moving today. Shout out to Rodrigo. He writes tuition and support for the stock market streams. Peace of the Saints. Peace of the Saints. Appreciate you. Only the ones who actually want to earn show up to these. You dig? Thank you to those supporting the work, the real men, the real earners. Trade Desk is up 23%. The market is juking today. Trade Desk is up 23%. What do? Trade Desk provides a self-service platform that helps advertisers and ad agencies programmatically find and purchase digital ad inventory on different devices. It's a business. Doesn't sound very exciting to me. Market Watch, first article writes, want to play the lottery? These are the most speculative stocks. So it's including this one as a speculative stock. And that's one that helps me know that, the balance sheet might be shaky with this company, might be good potential for shorting it. The second one is trade desk stock shoots higher after earnings outlook top expectations. Again, I like to take a short position on companies that outperform analysts by a smidge, and then there's like all this psychological goodwill, and then people inflate the price unduly. Looking at their numbers, oh, this company is actually looking really strong in terms of their last 4-year financials. So we have a beautiful trend of revenue ranging from 400 million in 2018. 2021, they're at 1.2 billion, and it's trended that way. And then in terms of their profit has been 88 million, 100 million, 242 million in 2020, then down to 137 million in 2021. But it's been looking really good. The foolish analysts say that this is a moderate buy. No, you don't buy it when it's up like this. It's a strong business. So in as much as that's the case, yeah, sure. It's something good to get into, but anyways, it's something good to get into because there's a strong business. Now, there doesn't seem to be any meaningful news that's on this app. I'm going to look into more news about this. And I'm typing in trade desk, and we're clicking news. Trade desk stocks shoot higher after earnings outlook, upbeat outlook, jump 16%. The case for and against the trade desk buying Criteo. Okay, so they're buying another company, perhaps. Okay, let's see. Criteo is up for sale, and there's only one company that keeps coming up as a likely acquirer, the Trade Desk. A deal would give the Trade Desk real skin in the retail media game, but an agreement, blah, 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 among today's macroeconomic uncertainty, blah, 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 yada, yada. This is irrelevant. Got it. Okay, cool. Now, let's think about short positions here. Let's think about short positions. So this bad boy is up 24%, and it seems like he's just climbing and climbing. The share price is at $62.34. The charts are really strong. I like what I've seen from this company. It's a strong company. Taking a short position against this one is aggressive. And I think that, you're not going to make a big killing on this because it actually is a good business. But I think it's slightly overvalued, not very overvalued, just slightly. Now, one thing I will point out is that I have been in and out of this particular company before. In May, on May 2024, on May 24th, 2022, I bought $500. The very next day, I got out of it for $562. And I've also, yep. So that's what I did. That's my only experience with this company. So I know that I've researched it at a greater level, and as much as I've bought it before, and that that stock price is still shooting up. It just went up to $63, and it just went back down a couple cents. So what I'm about to do is short this bad boy, but I'm not going to be very aggressive with the short. It just went up to $63, which is the highest it's been today. So I'll probably short it at $65. So let me get set up for that. I might even short it at $66. No, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna short it at $66 because it's such a good company. It's a strong company, decent product line. I think it might go up higher, and I don't think the price is gonna like crash. So I'm going to be more conservative on this short than I have been with the other shorts that I've made in the last probably couple months. So here we go. Their stock ticker symbol. Their symbol is TTD. I'm typing in TTD, Trade Desk. I'm selling short. I'm setting the limit price for, what did I say? 65, did I say? Let's see what it's at right now. What it's peaked at so far. It's peaked at 63. I'll set it for 66. When you're taking a short position against a strong company that's actually a good company, be conservative. Taking a significant number of shares out. This order is only good for today. So I'm taking the trade desk, significant number of shares, borrowing rate is 0, estimated daily fee is 0, which is great. Clicking I agree, reviewing my order one more time. I'm seeing that I'm taking a bunch of shares at $66 per. It's peaked so far at 63, so it may not get up there, but I think it will. But either way, I'm not really tripping because it's not great to take a short position against a strong company. And this is a strong company in a decent industry. My order has now been placed. I hope everyone was paying attention to my sentiments, which is that I'm not making a strong recommendation on doing this. I feel like, oh, okay, I'm down, but I wouldn't make a strong recommendation to do what I just did. Shout out to Chef supporting the work. Okay, let's see what else we have. In terms of biggest daily movers. So we went through Creo Technology Group. We went through Roblox. I don't think we went through Upstart. I actually think I know the CEO of Upstart, if I'm remembering correctly. I might have met this person. Oh, one of my trades might have just executed. Let's see. Your trade executed for Roblox. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. My trade executed for Roblox. I had it set at $45 per share. So let me just take a look back at that one. So that's cool. That's cool. So you guys will probably get to see how this one pans out before I get off this session. So I took Roblox at $45 per share, which let me see what it's peaked at so far. Yeah, that was a sweet spot because that's kind of what it's peaked at. So that was masterful. That was masterful. That was high level right there. Because basically I took a short position on these guys at $45 a share, and the prices already went down. So this is good. It went up just high enough for my trade to execute, and now it's on its way back down, albeit slowly. But this is good. That was masterful. I'm really proud of that trade currently. Now let's go back to where we were. So let's see. Now I see some stock that I'm already holding is really moving up, which is good. So the market is looking pretty good today, better than it has recently. Anyways, back to where we were. We were looking at a security called Upstart. And Upstart, I just want to go straight down to their financials. And from a revenue perspective, they have trended upward in a beautiful way, 99 to 164 million to 233 million to 800 million. They've done beautifully. And in terms of profit, I like the trend that I've seen because their profit went from negative 12 million to negative 400,000 to positive 5 million and then to 135 million. So those are great numbers. The analysts say sell, and I tend to agree with the analysts right now. You should sell right now because this security is up 25% in 24-hour period. I have been in and out of this security many times. I've executed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades of the security in the past. First time I bought in for $1,000 and then got out for 1,100 something dollars. Then I bought in again for another thousand. Then I got out for like a 1,120. Then I bought in again for 5,000. Then I got out for 5,200. So yeah, I've been in and out of this one a lot. Okay. So this is a probably a reasonably strong company that I've been buying it. Let's take a little bit more of a look into it because I don't have a fingertip memory of this one. Upstart Holdings provides credit services. The company provides proprietary cloud-based artificial intelligence lending platform. Lending is, credit lending, insurance, financial services, fintech. These are good industries. It says they aggregate consumer demand for loans and connect to a network, an AI network of bank partners. Cool. That's a good business. All right. And their financials look really strong. So this is a strong company that I would basically be taking a short position against because they've shot up so fast. But let's see why they've shot up. Market Watch writes, puts them in the speculative stocks. I don't know why. I think that's foolish. This is a strong company in a good industry. It says Upstart revenue falls by half. Earnings outlook underwhelms. That's curious. Uh, okay. Perhaps an idea. It says Upstart is perhaps an idea ahead of its time. That was a week ago. So right now there might be something really suspicious going on, like a pump and dump. A whale might be moving in and out. So there's something really weird going on right now. So I'm going to try to make this move as quickly as possible. Let me just check really quickly if there's any news on this one, because I want to make this move sooner than later, because there appears to be no logical reason as to why this stock has shot up all of a sudden because they missed their earnings estimate. Upstart stock. Okay. Upstart Holdings reports Q4 loss. Blah, blah, blah. Things get much worse. Upstart has been one of the hardest hit by the rise in interest rates. Okay, this is all bad news. Why is their stock performing well right now? It doesn't make any sense. This is an opportunity here. This seems like an opportunity. I need more coverage. I need more news. Badly, earnings will be. How badly will Upstart Q4 earnings be hurt by the Fed's rate hikes? Okay. Here's why I'm buying the stock today. That's curious. Let's see. While the operating environment remains difficult, the company's central value proposition is what differentiates it. Its strong value proposition, which each loan, yes, I'm buying Upstart because it's cheap valuation and business fundamentals are strong. Yeah. Okay. So nothing with regards to news. So what we're hearing right now is that what you're hearing from me is that this price is strangely inflated. I'm not saying it's not a good business. It is a good business. I just don't comprehend why the price is went up so high in the last 24 hours for no discernible reason, which is to say either there's some insider trading going on, there's a whale that's splashing around right now, which is to say big money, but something strange. I'm going to go ahead and execute a short position. The current share price is $21.17. I think I'm going to execute this trade, and it's still going up as I look at it. I'm going to execute this short position at $23. Yeah, it's at $23. I just don't trust, maybe even $24. I don't trust or understand what's going on right now, but I want a piece of this action. So we're going to short sell, take a short position at $24. So if you'll give me a moment, I'm just going to go into my account. And the symbol for this security is UPST. UPST. I am going to sell short. My limit price is at $24. This is good for today only. I'm going to try not to be too aggressive here because indeed it is a strong company. Give me a second to finalize this order. Okay. Okay, give me a moment. May I acknowledge Gunsley? He writes, oh, none of the above writes, tuition at work, been stuck in meetings. We'll have to watch on Patreon for the knowledge. Indeed. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support, Saint. It's a real one right there. This is great. It's funny. I when I make a when I sell short and I use a limit and I'm moving conservatively and then my trade actually executes, it's always very like exciting because I'm like, I played that one the right way. I'm glad I didn't take a market order. I'm glad the market is moving in the way that I've predicted and that I've wanted it to move. So it's a blessing. I guess not a blessing, but it's good fortune and it's a sign that you're doing this the right way. Excuse me, to move around some, make some more purchases and change some positions real quick. This is such a serious pursuit. I almost wish my assistants were at work right now so I could have them reading out the numbers to me as I'm doing this because I don't want to miss a thing. You dig? The market is still moving. The market is very active today in a good way. One thing that reason I don't recommend short selling or margin selling is because more so with using margin or excuse me using leverage, you're essentially borrowing money, and sometimes you're borrowing at an expensive rate. And borrowing in general, I recommend against. You don't want to ever borrow. You can accept investment, but stay away from borrowing in general. Stay away from credit in general. These things are no good. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, go get it. You dig? If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Go get it. Just adding, there's some trades I've made that I want to double down on real quick. So I'm feeling aggressive on a particular couple of securities. You just allow me a moment to double down on some of my buys. And look at that. So, so Upstart is at $21. What is it peaked at? Is that the peak so far? Yeah, so it looks like Upstart has peaked around $21.45. And it seems as though it's kind of like plateauing up here, but it's still relatively early in the market. There's still a lot of a lot of time for it to make some moves. And as I said, I really like their balance sheet. So it's a strong company. I've been in and out of this company 6 times. So, when the price drops, this is a good one to buy. And I wish, I'll have to make some notes on this platform. So it's always nice to not to have to research things every time. So do make notes on these securities as you look at them, because a lot of times it's the same companies coming up again and again, especially when you're like me, you're looking at the biggest daily movers. Like, for example, like you see GameStop, you see Bed Bath and Beyond, you see some of these guys all the time. And so you do want to have like a fingertip feel, because in some cases you want to execute your trades fairly quickly. Upstart's starting to wind down right now, starting to tank just a little bit. Just executing a trade here. Selling short, significant quantity, limit order, $23. It's going in a little bit deeper. Oh, the brokerage ran out of shares. No, that's unfortunate. Yes, that's unfortunate. This occurs every now and then, which is to say, when you're selling short, you're essentially borrowing shares from your brokerage. And every now and then the brokerage runs out of shares. So what you should understand is that, you know, uh, this might be telling you something. Maybe a lot of people are taking a short position on this particular security, but the brokerage has run out of shares. I can't even short this company on this particular brokerage. I'd have to sign into a different brokerage account and short them. But for those who were able to short Upstart, take a short position, you might make a killing, because I can tell you I was for sure trying to do it. Let me see if they'll let me get less, because I did ask for a very significant amount. So let me see if I can change that real quick, and then I'll answer the question that was just posed. Oh, no, you can't get anything significant right now. Hurts my heart. What can you do? It gets like that every now and then. Anyway, so you guys know what I would have done there. Shout to Fabian. He writes, saying, I think your strategy is good, working off people's fear or greed. Indeed. And human beings are scary animals. He writes, I'm tired of reading these buy and hold books. Do you use options as well? No, I try to keep it simple. And truth be told, a lot of this is for my entertainment. It's fun. Any man who thinks that stock is his job, I personally don't think that contributes to the society, in as much as you're just pressing numbers on a computer. You've not created food that people can eat. You haven't created clothes that people can put on their back. There's no significant value added to the society. I think that I'm not going to get into it, but long story short, I keep it simple. I do it for fun. I do make money on it, but it's not a big issue to me. It's not a big thing. So we looked at Credo, we looked at Upstart, we looked at Roblox, we looked at Trade Desk, we looked at Nerd Wallet, and the other big movers aren't moving that much. WeWork is up. Oh, I'm shocked. WeWork is garbage. I actually was, invited to speak on WeWork and their debacle a couple years ago. So I was invited by China to speak about WeWork. Terrible, 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 terrible company. Just looking at their financials right now, their net profit the last 2 years has been -3 billion and then -5 billion. Terrible company. the analysts are saying buy, that is a bad idea. I would not buy. It's up 13% for the day, up 0% for the week, down 2% for the month, down 75% for the year, down 85% for all time. Yeah, this is a terrible company. I wouldn't even touch it unless I was going to short it. And I'm looking at it. I'm tempted to short it, except that the share price is a dollar 75, right? And it's only up 12%. And when the share price is that low, who knows what's about to happen to this thing? And even though it's up 12%, it's down about 2% for the month. Is nothing really interesting has happened with this thing. So I think that'll conclude what I have. I'll give you guys some time to send in your comments, questions, or URLs or symbols that you want me to research right now. But I don't see anything particularly interesting in the market at the moment. Just taking a quick look through, Carvana is up 11%. Carvana is very volatile. I've seen it pop up in the biggest daily movers a lot. Airbnb is almost never here. Kind of surprised that they're up right now, to be honest with you. I'm almost tempted to short Airbnb. Airbnb posts a record Q4 as travel recovers post-pandemic. Okay. Now it's curious that travel has recovered because, I think in the current environment, I think travel is about to suffer. So, if Airbnb had shot up more than 12%, I probably would take a short against them. But Airbnb is not necessarily a strong economy from a balance or strong company from a balance sheet perspective, but they're powerful. So just to give you a summary of like the players that are mattering right now today for the biggest daily movers. So you guys remember Iris Energy. What did we do? Did we short them yesterday? I forget what we had did with them. Let me see. I think I took a short position on Iris Energy. Yeah, and I think I posted about that in the community tab, but I took a short on them, if I recall correctly, made money on them. Select Quote is often in the biggest daily movers. Carvana is very volatile. You can make some money on that one for sure. Airbnb, I've never seen in the biggest daily movers. I'm surprised that they're up. I think that they'll be coming back down, but they won't come back down sharply. It'll take a little bit of time. Herbalife is up 13%. That company has just been very resilient. Let's just say that. And okay, cool. So as we close out, let's see if there's been any interesting moves in my portfolio. So when we started my Digital Turbine, it's grown, and I bought Digital Turbine during one of these sessions. It's currently up 6%, which is a decent return considering it's only been like a couple days. And my Lyft is up as well. That's up 6%. 6%. I might be willing to collect a little something. My Albertsons is up a little bit more than it was this morning, just a little bit. And everything else is pretty much stagnant. No other major changes in the portfolio. 6%. Do I want 6% in this environment? Maybe I'll take 6%. See, what I'm not seeing a lot is in this economic environment, you're making a lot of money on the stocks doing this. I'm not making a lot of money on stocks doing this. This is not happening a lot in this environment. In fact, just my Digital Turbine, just as I was talking, I lost a whole percent. I'm gonna get out of it right now. So I just set a market order to sell all of that. So I got out of that with profit. I'm getting out of Lyft right now as well. I just got out of Lyft right now with decent profit. And the thing to remember is that I probably could have made more money if I used a limit sell order. It just would be a couple extra clicks. And I just don't feel like it. It doesn't matter that much to me. I really don't care. Which just shows you like how much I don't like take this. Like some people like think this is their job. That's just silliness. Like someone tells me they're a day trader. I'm like, Nah, bro. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay. And before we get out of here, shout to Stop Playing Trade supporting the work. And before we get out of here, let's also look at my short position that I'd opened up as well and see how that's faring. Okay, my short position, where is it? Did it execute? I could have sworn I had one that executed. Where is it? I gotta look at this from the website. Okay, so I took a short position on Roblox. It did execute, and I am in the green right now. Not for very much. I'm gonna give it some more time, but I am in the green, which is to say I've made money. And the funny thing is that this brokerage is rating this security that I've made a bet against, and the rating that it has for this security is an F, which is great. You know, it rates this security as an F, which is that it's not good. And I just took a short position against it. So hopefully their rating is true and the price continues to tank, and it just makes me a whole bunch more money. So that's really neat. I like that. Very good. So I only have one short position currently open, and that's against Roblox. We've already made money, but we'll probably make some more money on it. So I'm going to keep that position open. I'll probably try to close it by end of day. If it hasn't made me enough money, I'll leave it open because I'm not paying really anything in terms of a fee for borrowing those shares. The gentleman says, do you have a Discord? We do have a Discord. We have it for our members at patreon.com/the saint and the sinner, which is to say we don't let just anyone in our Discord. This is a fairly elite group of men and women who are focused on health, wealth, and relationships. And so we make sure that we have real ones around us. You dig? Thank you for your interest, and we invite you to join this family. Saints, I'll give you a little bit of time to send in your comments, questions as we wind down. May I acknowledge Robert actually just got his backpack briefcase order in, and I actually just got a call from my shipper, and the backpack briefcases have completed customs, and they'll be delivered by the end of this week to my warehouse. So those will be getting mailed out quite soon. So mdblabel.com if you want to get your drip up. You dig? Saints, it's been truly a pleasure to have this time to fellowship with you and earn with you and learn with you. And I've made some money during this one. I made 2 trades, made about 6% on both of them. So 12% return in the space of 24 to 48 hours is respectable. I got a short position open right now that's currently making money. And so all is well until next time. Yes, let us end with our tradition, the Creed of the Assassin. Repeat after me with full conviction, knowing this is true of you, the Creed of the Assassin. I'm going to be who I truly am, because I am remarkable, and I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Until next time, peace to the saints.